Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Unmute. Hello!
Hi.
Hey, everyone! Sorry about playing that awesome video twice. We figured we'd just play it twice, because, we're completely professional.
One for each eye.
Yeah, one for each eye. We know what we're doing. We're professional. We're organized. We're prepared, and we were ready for this. And
Hey, David.
Yeah.
Something
wrong?
The title for the show is wrong.
What?
On a
Totally professional,
unrelated
everybody.
matter. Thank you, Shadin Turg, for subscribing.
Oh, wow. Shadenturg, thank you very much. That is...
Matter.
Wow,
Thank
amazing.
you,
I
Shadin
hope
we didn't
Turg
butcher
for-
the name.
Yes, which we probably did, so I apologize. Let me just
He's
change
probably gonna unsub for that reason now because you just butchered it. It's probably
and the name of the stream has been updated. Thank you for noticing that, Eric.
Welcome. Also, just so that we can bug her. Hi, Stormy. I know you're watching.
Okay, so, hey everyone. Before we begin, I just want to give a heartfelt shout out to Ben Lesnick. Ben, from everyone here at Relay, everyone in the community as a whole, we're all rooting for you. You are as much Star Citizen as anyone else, even up to Chris Roberts. So thank you for all you do, and best of luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to know what's going on, go check his Twitter.
Yep.
But wish Ben all the best, and hopefully see him again soon.
Yep. After that, that said, welcome to the Relay Station. My name's David. I did a run today. It involved color. It was a color run, though they spelt color wrong, which is terrible. I am tired.
Wait, hang on. Where is it? Shit. I know the alphabet.
In fact, none of the
Before you
people on this
proceed-
cast actually spell it that way.
Disclaimer. This part of the show was signed off on by Faust Card, a well-known African American.
Carry on.
Oh.
So now we can talk about color all we want. Oh god, I hate myself. Wow. So I'm really, really tired right now. I'm going to have some beer, lay back, and let these other three madmen ruin your day. The first madman is Shiver, who's going to ruin your day by talking in a British accent. It's not really an accent, because I guess he is just British, but don't blame him for that. It's not really his choice.
You rebel scum.
Second madman is Nakara, who's going to ruin your day by knowing a lot more than you thought anyone realistically ever could, ever, about Star Citizen, space, Moose, and the Antiguan Peninsula. The third...
I think I should probably go figure what the Antiguan Peninsula is.
The third madman, who just showed up out of nowhere to save our stream from being a 3-madman stream and turning it into a 4-madman stream. Thank you, Canadian Syrup. Thank you. He's going to ruin your day by sticking you with the knowledge that you will never be as nice, as self-effacing, or as fast-typing as him, ever.
That's about right.
Yeah. So, hey.
So,
But I can't say I'm the best because that would mean I'm not humble.
Yeah, you
So
can't. I can say you're the best, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So
yeah,
first
I'm
question
tired.
of the stream-
Have at
Our
it.
first
Go.
question of the stream is, what is Tumblr?
How long was your run, David?
It was a 5K. We finished it in 45 minutes, but this is the first time I've ever run anything in my life.
Nice.
So,
Cool. All right, so
You're so
folks,
much against running that when you have a cold, you don't even let your nose run.
So I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but there was a lot of Star Citizen stuff this week.
yes.
Way more than usual. So we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I guess the main topic this week was derelict ships.
We're actually going to switch right over to show and tell because there's a lot to
Yeah.
show.
We only have, what, 50? gifts to show.
Yeah, just about.
There's like nothing on ATV ever nowadays, anyway. So
I know it's I gotta say I've actually been so incredibly disappointed with the lack of content in Around the Verse lately that I resubscribed. I finally, for anyone that didn't know, back around December last year during the whole kerfuffle of them not giving us anything, I let my subscription lapse. I have this week resubscribed because you know what? Yeah, it's back. ATV is good again. Thank you, CIG. Yeah.
And to be clear, it's been good for a while.
Yes.
But it took several successive amazing ATVs to push David back into subscribing.
That is true. It did.
David's level of cheapness, how good ATV is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
could go so many directions with that, but I'll leave it.
You're too nice to.
Actually, it's funny because it's been going on so I've been subscribed so long that it actually for a while got really high in price for me because when I started, like the Canadian dollar was almost exactly the same as the American dollar, so it was like $20 a month.
Yeah.
Then the Canadian dollar basically jumped into a canyon. And all of a sudden it was like $35 a month or $32 a month or something. And I was like, that's more. But thankfully it's getting a little more reasonable again.
Yeah, Tofu der Fleischer says Eris is on the old hype levels from years ago again. And yeah, you know what? I am actually getting close to there. The 3.0 hype is real. So, before we get into all of the gifts and talking about all the gifts, I want a quick summary of what each of you thought of ATV this week and the other shows as well, Happy Hour and the discussions after Happy Hour. So, Canadian Syrup, what did you think about it this week?
Oh, that's it. That's all I got.
I'm glad I don't have to type this week again.
No, it was really good. I definitely appreciate the fact that they aren't just going and taking a ship, breaking it, and then just leaving it like that. They're actually going in and they're making sure that there's variations of it. Not to mention, they're going through and they're going to have every single ship be a derelict in some way and have the same modularity. It's a part of the pipeline, which is really cool. And just the excitement in Nason's voice when he's like describing like, oh, you're gonna find these things, and at the end, if you didn't watch the very end, there's something very I assume we'll get to that in a separate topic, but basically there's a surprise in there.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the surprise?
I like surprises.
It's at the very end of ATV after Sandy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are we talking like this?
I don't know.
Why we whispering?
Shiver, what did you think of ATV?
I thought it was actually really good. I mean, the wrecks, seeing them like that was very cool. I want to know which wrecks will definitely be in 3.0 because there seems to be a few mixed reports about there's definitely a freelancer, there's definitely a caterpillar,
And a constellation.
and constellation. I know
The
there's
Starfire-
a
the Starfire actually-
wreck in
yeah.
space.
No, there's a
But not
Starfare on the
on
ground.
ground?
That they did.
Yep.
They showed one in
I will
ATV.
put
I
it
have
up
2
right
gifts
now.
of it.
1 second. I just gotta find it. There's so many gifts. Just let me find it. Canyon Desert. No,
Yes.
we want.
Shiver. It was the one with the solar panels
There.
beside it.
Inhabited Starfare.
Yes.
Yep. And then eventually all the ships are going to be derelict.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things I thought was the coolest to come out of this week is that, I mean, there was like a million things, but that they're not just making derelict ships, as a separate thing, that they have now put it as part of the pipeline, so every ship will go through that process. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Telling
mean,
a
it's going
ship
to take
won't
them.
Yeah.
It's going to take them a long time to get them all done, but the really cool part of that is in the end we're going to have like 100 or 120 different different derelict ships simply because they're different ships.
This is actually now.
So
they're showing them, like, look at this freelancer that's showing right now. This freelancer doesn't look inhabited. It doesn't look like there's anything of use. It is a pile of crap. It is crashed in the desert, and it looks like, you know, in, like, when they find, like, an old World War II bomber that crashed in the jungle somewhere and has been there for, 50 years. That's what this looks like, kind of, right? But one of the things that I've wondered about Star Citizen, honestly, for a long time, is how are they going to fill it with actual content? And this is one of the ways they fill it with content. This is for explorers. One of the greatest parts of the video, the Lost and Found video, is when he's cutting through the Connie's top hatch, which
absolutely.
that doesn't mean that they're only going to be on the ground crashed. They might also be submerged or buried or, like, who knows. And there's so much more there than we ever thought we'd
there's
get.
a huge amount of gameplay possible with, because that, if you looked at that wreck, the only thing you could see was the top hatch. The rest of it was buried. And there's a lot of really cool gameplay you could have with wrecks that are almost completely, like, they're hard to find. They're almost completely invisible. That would be really neat. And yeah, submerged ones at the bottom of the ocean. And another huge part to come out this week was that they actually confirmed that if they can get it to work in the game, they want player wrecks to persist until they either are reclaimed or completely destroyed. They don't know if they can get there in 3.0, but that is their goal, is to make player wrecks just persist indefinitely until something is done with them, which is going to add even more gameplay.
Well, and the thing is, if someone goes, well, how could that even be possible? Remember, there's going to be a lot of NPCs, so if you don't get it, probably an NPC will get it.
Yeah. Yep. And that's they were talking about that just a few weeks ago when they were talking about, like, around Port Olisar. If you do something as simple as break some glass or throw some litter, that will actually create a job to clean it up. Now, that job is that stuff's only going to be for NPCs, but that means if a ship goes down, it creates a task, and if some player doesn't find it, eventually an NPC will find it.
Yep.
I don't know why, but this reminds me of the Fifth Element and the Zor Corporation. Create a little chaos.
Yeah.
And everyone has jobs.
Yeah. That's amazing.
What about in areas that aren't so the less lawless areas and things like that? Do you think they'll still generate a mission, or do you think they'll just be thrown on the planet and discovered whenever, rather than mission generated or put into a mission that's been?
Well, see, there's a couple things here. Like, they might. This will be experimenting with the game, right? They might have those ones just be if someone finds them good. Or it could be a time thing. Like, it could be if nobody's found it within a week, then a task gets generated in the back end for it to be cleaned up by a reclaimer, either an NPC or a player. You know what I mean?
And
That's
for
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and for lots of them, it might be there is a distress signal, and if a player doesn't answer the distress signal within 24 hours, then that distress signal will be answered by an NPC. Like, there is... it has crashed. There are now 36 hours till it gets cleaned up.
What if I didn't press a distress signal?
Then maybe there isn't. But maybe then it goes longer, but there's kind of a, okay, this has crashed, let's give it a week.
Actually, I see what you're saying there, Shiver. There is a good chance. I mean, in those in outlying areas in the game, it's possible they won't need to clean them up because they won't. Remember, the network bind unbind thing means that unless, well, I mean, by the time the game comes out, unless there's players nearby, it doesn't actually matter that it exists. It's not taking up any resources other than in the database. And I could definitely see them going, well, if it's way out in the middle of nowhere and you don't send any signals, there's no way for that information to get out. So it's crashed there, and if someone goes there, they can find it. But that's the only, like, you would never find it otherwise.
Or it could be a rare cargo, and then you have a quest that's assigned. You have this missing ship, and then when you go actually pick up the cargo, you realize that trying to get it back is not easy because that cargo is also wanted by some pirates, and then you have to fight your way back home. Yeah.
They did actually reiterate this week that the mission system is going to work the way that we all thought it would, which is where if there is a good mission created to like to go recover a black box of a ship that crashed, if that ship was shot down by pirates, there will also be a pirate mission created to go and attack the guys who are trying to recover the black box.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
So there is one derelict
really cool.
image. Oh, okay. We just lost a shiver.
He lost a shiver.
He probably lost his internet connection. I'm sure he'll be back as soon as he can. In the meantime, there is one Connie here that I do want to talk about, because if you look at the Connie in this image, or in this GIF, in the background, it's kind of wigging out a little. Do you see it wigging out in the back there?
I do not.
Really?
Am I?
looks
Am I
to me like it's
Now I
like-
see it. Yeah.
I love it. But I actually think that that's great, because I mean, it doesn't look great, but it also shows that this was like this isn't like pre-done stuff. This is
Oh
game.
yeah. Okay.
Like-
Ship's gonna have character too, more than just the shape. Okay.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
how much it would
that's
freak you out if you're like exploring a derelict and all of a sudden it's just like physics.
There's somebody in my belly.
Welcome back, Shiver. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Is this still the internet? What's it like now?
Well, there are now giant snake monsters eating everybody. I'm sorry that happened in like the 48 seconds you were gone though.
I do have a lot of color on my face. Okay, so while we're talking about derelicts, before we move on to some of the other stuff, what do you guys think is what are you most excited for that you think that derelicts bring to the game? What most excites you about, hey, these exist?
Can I be kind of goofy here?
Of course.
Honestly, the most important answer here in my mind is gameplay. There's always been an open question of, okay, you have a huge world, how do you fill it? Like, there has to be stuff to do. Yeah, okay, great, you have a huge world. If there's nothing to do, it's just boring. Derelicts, because people love exploring. I mean, exploring is the #1 desired gameplay mechanic in the game. It adds a huge element of exploration for people to just go poke around in derelicts. Now, the other important part, and they did touch on this a bit, is derelicts and outposts, they have to have things to do there. There needs to be loot. There has to be some reason to actually go there. Because I think if people explore enough derelicts and there's just nothing for them there and it's just taking up time, then it'll be kind of annoying. But that work is coming along. They said, you know, one of the beautiful parts of item 2.0 is what it actually underlying fact is what it does is it means that they can make anything in the entire game interactable. So any item you see can eventually be interactable. They won't all be at the beginning, but yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
What do you
You
mean
guys talk
everything
for a
is not going to be done like right away? Come on, what is this stuff?
It's called game development. And you don't have to. I don't think you have to censor yourself on this particular show.
No.
I don't know why I did. I just did.
After last week,
After last week's David's performance, I don't think
good.
you're.
this
censoring
week
yourself.
I'm censored. Maybe next week I'll be uncensored again, though.
Dang. I think the biggest thing that to add to that, I mean, the gameplay is big, but I think it's economy. It's a really good resource to introduce fluctuations, different things, buy and sell, rare parts, stuff like that. So, mining and cargo is great and all, but, salvage is an awesome thing.
Sure.
Base building, base resource gathering and building, sat on this planet in my rocking chair going, yep, this is mine. And then chase off any people on my land. Get off my land!
Well, I mean, they did show us the inhabited starfarer here that it's a
Yeah,
base. It's got
They did reiterate that they will have derelicts that look like they were inhabited, but they won't actually have NPCs at them unless it's for a mission, I think, in 3.0. That will change though in 3.1. At least that was what they said. They may just still surprise us and be like, haha, this one's actually got people.
I like that. Like
That's gonna freak someone out, isn't it? Imagine that if you're just going through one of those creepy bases, it's like sparks everywhere. You think, oh, that's fine, there's no AI around here, and then suddenly, oh shit. I'd crap myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna show. Or wait, I probably can. Hang on. Let's while we're finishing this up. Let's. Oh no, that's full screen. Damn it! I didn't want it full screen. 1 second. Haha.
Uh-oh. What has he done?
I was just gonna play Lost and Found again while we're talking about it because some of the scenes in Lost and Found.
Yeah, I guess you could
like,
say ships
in the
have
dark,
always held kind of
they're
a power
actually
over me.
Kind of freaky, and they look so good.
Growing up, I couldn't get
And
enough
this
of
is
them.
all.
I'd hang out by the pads any chance I got and listen to the pilots swap
By the way,
stories.
I mean, it should be noted that
My dad
this
used
is,
to tell me,
this
you
is
weren't
actually
born,
spreading-
you landed.
these funny TVs week after week seem to be spreading beyond the confines of the Star Citizen community. I posted some stuff from last week's in the PC gaming subreddit, and it was really well received. And then, we need to mute the video. Apparently.
I did.
Okay, good.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I forget because I can't hear it. It doesn't play for me, so I'm like, oh, everything's fine. And then, oh, right, voices.
We're renewing your contract for another 10 years.
Yeah. But what I was just gonna say is that so I posted some stuff from last week's on the PC gaming subreddit. It did really well.
Yeah.
This week, 2 other people posted bits of this week's ATV on the PC gaming subreddit, and both of those did really well. So we're leaking.
Well, you look at this. I can't even tell what ship it is, but the one that's like covered in trees and stuff, and it's.
Oh, that's the freelancer, I think.
It looks.
Is that a fr-
I don't think
is
it's a
that a
freelancer.
Almost looks like a buccaneer.
Yeah, it looked to me like a buccaneer,
Oh,
but
well, as far as I'm aware, the Buccaneer isn't derelicted yet.
I didn't think
But-
so either. But it could just be art. But like,
Oh man, that's so cool.
all of this looks so good, and it's actually really good that they're adding these, that they're going to have these for 3.0, because I was for a long time I was honestly wondering, what are we going to do in 3.0, you know?
Between outposts and derelicts and space stations and planets and Levski, and I think there's going to be all sorts of stuff to do.
Did anyone play Star Trek Online on release? Do you remember they said, oh yeah, and you can visit like Vulcan or something? Like, yeah, you can visit Vulcan and just do nothing.
Even
like,
you
that was
censored
the point.
yourself.
Why is everyone
Well, it's
censoring?
Star Trek. I've got to respect Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, well at least up until
Yeah, used to be Evo. It's very much a full game now, and it's very enjoyable. So,
Okay, so there are 2 more derelict type gifts that I want to play. One is the blown out freelancer. I'm gonna hit go on that one now, just because this is fantastic. Like the glass and the corpse
yeah.
is just
amazing.
sitting suspended in. I have to wonder though, what broke the glass? Because weren't we led to believe for the longest time that spaceship glass in Star Citizen was stronger than glass? It's like diamond particulate or something.
Well, it's basically supposed to be as strong as the hull. So I think if anything can break the hull, then it can also break the glass. So, it's just that it's not a weak point. Now, the thing that's interesting for me is it almost looks like it was an explosion from the inside that broke it. Which might just have been the ship exploding. Like from the inside, there could have been an explosion that like went the length of the ship.
I have a theory.
See, and this is I want to
I want to hear
quickly
CS's
share this.
theory.
Just Okay, go ahead.
So, I have a feeling that Big Benny's was involved because when you eat too much Big Benny's, stuff happens. And when Captain Richards sat on the toilet in the Freelancer, it exploded. Because you notice where it split, eh? That's almost the crew quarters.
It is the crew
That's
quarter,
like
yeah.
the crew quarter. It has to be because it was such a violent, it just blew up the ship. And that's why the guys are out in the front. That's why they see the window, like they're out right there because they got shoved out the window.
Are you sure you wanted to hear his theory first?
No, I was like, you know what? Canadian syrup is really intelligent and always brings interesting and good things. Like intelligent
Think about it.
discourse.
Think about it, though. You wouldn't have thought of that, would you?
No.
That is true.
So that brings you a new perspective.
I might be sad now that I've thought about it.
So I wanted to point out something here in that one of the things that they're really excited about for this game, and one of the things they've been working on a lot with the derelicts, is they want people to have those same exact discussions where they're like, how did this become derelict? What happened? And they've been trying to integrate like clues as to what destroyed the ship. And I think that that's really cool, just to play detective a little bit and try and figure out what occurred.
Now the question is any of that debris a Benny's carton?
We'll have to go look. That's
Sure.
your job.
As soon as you see one,
There.
then I'm right.
Okay.
So.
Well, let's
Shiver,
keep
any
watching.
thoughts there?
Be careful when you eat bennies.
Okay, so the next one, and this is not a derelict. Well, it's a derelict, but this to me was one of the most fantastic things in the entire episode. Just the day-night freelancer, because
Oh yeah.
the shading on this and the people walking in and out, and then night comes and then the sky appears, and it's a true sky. It's not faked. It's not a skybox. And then the sun. Oh my god!
I don't know. I'm an old man at this stage of my life now, but I did really like the idea of just like, well, crash the ship, gonna live here.
Yeah.
Oh, look, trespassers are coming. I'll get the gun.
No, this was one of the two things that was posted on the PC Gaming subreddit. This is a beautiful, beautiful example of a day-night cycle in 3.0. I can't wait until these sites are actually inhabited by NPCs. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And
But
scary.
even as still, like, I really do love that, as it gets dark, like the lights turn on and the bonfire starts in that
I really
barrel
like that, and it's hitting dark right now. But when it hits dark, it's a true dark. Like in lots of games, nighttime is not true nighttime. You can see what's going. That
Really blue light.
They did modify it a little bit though, because
Yes,
for
they did,
gameplay
because it
reasons,
was
it's
too dark.
ridiculous how dark it could actually get. So
but
One thing I wanted to mention, pay really close attention to this on the GIF. The wind speed and direction changes quite a few times during the GIF.
Yep.
You can see by the windmills, and in fact, near the end, I think the wind is completely stopped.
and they actually turn like 360 degrees throughout the course of the day, which again, I mean, and the question is, what does that matter? What does that make a difference to gameplay? Like, who cares? There's wind. Just pretend that there's wind everywhere. No, CIG won't do that because they're insane.
Well, and because it's not necessarily about gameplay. It's about making things look nice, and I mean that's always been a thing with
Well,
games.
it could be gameplay. I was just going to ask because Arma 3 certainly does take into account wind when you're shooting.
True.
To a degree, yes,
could be.
absolutely.
And dust and things. Sorry.
well, and player-made structures and stuff like that down the road, they have said that they may want. So if you want to set up an outpost, you want to go solar or wind, you'll have to take into account the location.
Yeah. But it's that amount of detail, that attention to even something like, oh yeah, we need an atmosphere and we need wind and we need it to exist like real wind. That the extent of that is just I love it. I love it.
Also, there's in that same GIF, you'll notice if you watch the sky, there's stuff that impacts the atmosphere.
Yep.
There's things that like course across the atmosphere, like shooting stars and stuff. And I think that's a really cool extra effect to add in. I mean, honestly, this whole like what is this, like 20 some odd seconds is amazing demonstration of where they're at right now.
And I think two of them are actually ships flying by. Hang on, I need to watch this
Very
again.
very well could be. Very well could be. But we don't really know from the surface. It could
Except
be rocks,
it
could
looks
be
like
ships.
they're going away from the planet, not towards it. But 1 second.
Oh, okay.
I want to watch this one more time. Now, yeah, I think those might be ships. Anyway, I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm gonna move on to some of the other gifts that we have, and let's talk a little bit about cargo, because cargo is another thing they showed off a fair bit about this week and talked a bit about this week.
Yeah.
Buying cargo, how it's going to be stacked in your ships and such. Now, you're going to be able to buy lots and lots of cargo and fit it in your ship, but right now, once it's in your ship, it's automatically going to be put there, and that's it. You can't do anything with it. Like, you can go and sell it, but you can't move it or anything unless your ship gets destroyed.
Yeah. And I think you'll also be able to, they didn't actually talk about this, but I think you'll also be able to find cargo, like on outposts or at derelicts or whatever, and then take it back to your ship.
No, they did talk about it very
Did they?
briefly, but yeah, no, any kind of cargo, whatever you can find from anywhere. So
Perfect. But yeah, if you're just buying cargo from a kiosk, it just goes to your ship instantly. You take it to wherever you're transporting it, and then you go to another kiosk and sell it. The only time it becomes interactable for 3.0 is if your ship explodes.
Yeah.
However, they did say that is something they're going to be looking to change as soon as 3.1.
Yeah.
But just for this first implementation, they want to just, for a lot of these things, they are a first implementation. They want to get the mechanic into the game so that they can get people playing with it and then figure out all the problems with it.
Yeah.
And then move on from there.
Because honestly, let's keep in mind, there are going to, when 3.0 launches, there are going to be a lot of problems with it.
Oh, yeah.
no, it's gonna be flawless. I don't know what you're talking about.
I kind of like the look of how, at the top left in this video where he's like picking where he wants to place it. I like how you've got a lot of control, but it also does snap to like every half.
I know, it's perfect. I love it. It's a really good way of doing it.
Yeah.
So you do have freedom, but it also will snap into place so people who are really picky with how things are organized are not losing their minds.
I just noticed we lost Shiver, by the way.
Yeah, we did. We're
no,
carrying on.
We're shivered down again.
Like a couple minutes later. Oh, he's gone. Oh, okay.
Shiver, come back.
Poor Shiver.
So I think cargo is going to be huge for, I mean, not a lot of people are paying real close attention to it, but I think it's going to be huge for 3.0 because it will really provide the economy background or backbone for the entire thing.
And cargo has a huge impact on the overall gameplay of the entire game. Like, I'm trying to, like, I've been trying to think what MMO, RPG, any sort of game allows you to interact with your inventory in a way like this, like your cargo. Like, you know, for example, obviously it's not a great example because it's different how to design, but EVE Online, you don't see your cargo. You just see it in that little inventory window. You're not interacting with it. You're not picking it up. You're not dropping it. It's literally a case of drag and drop, where this, you're actually physically handling your cargo.
Welcome back, Shiver.
Hi, Shiver.
Hello.
And the fact that there's going to be even more, you know, varying containers and stuff that's going to come online, like it's awesome. Like people literally who want to just do hauling, Like
Yeah.
they're gonna go and optimize exactly how they want to put in their ship, so they save the most fuel and get the most money out of it. Like there's so much gameplay in it itself, and people who are just industrial, like it's gonna be big for them. So
One of the things I thought that was really cool with this week is that I mean, they hinted at it before, but I like to see it actually spelled out. Is that if you have a cargo box that you find on a planet and you take it back to your ship and you put it in the cargo grid, it will be added to your ship's inventory like seamlessly,
Mhm.
which is really cool and really nice. I mean, I know it sounds obvious, but I've definitely seen games where that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's also another thing to add to that too is that also affects vehicles. You now can park your Dragonfly, your Nox, whatever, your rover into your ship, and it's gonna stay there.
Let's show that. Now, I want to talk a bit here because I'm gonna take over for a little here. Because
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
first off, this GIF is amazing, and just parking your vehicle in like they're parking a Nox in a Cutlass Black, and that's fantastic. And I love the looks of this, and just flying into a stationary Cutlass and just parking it, and I mean it seems to just work, which is outstanding. I got a question here though, because I hate to say it, but that cargo bay of that Cutlass looks freaking huge. Like it looks like I could almost park a bloody Freelancer in there. That cargo bay is giant, like substantially bigger than
Yeah, they
the
let the
Freelancer.
UK get their hands on it.
Yeah,
Well, you have to understand the Nox isn't a big ship either, so perspective plays a
Very,
huge part.
very,
It's
yeah,
not,
it's very,
but-
very small.
but where that Nox is parked, that is about the width of the Freelancer cargo bay. Like it looks like the Cutlass cargo bay is literally double the Freelancer's cargo bay, and
Very possible.
I do not think that that's okay.
I think the Freelancer's a lot longer though, isn't it?
Not a lot, not that much.
Well, we'll have to see in game.
I'm genuinely worried about this because one of the things about the Cutlass is it's supposed to be faster and more maneuverable than a Freelancer, and a Freelancer is supposed to be able to carry more cargo. But it doesn't,
But
like that thing, that cargo bay is huge.
so what you're saying is they might have to rework the Freelancer when they
Yes.
do the variants.
I am
Yeah,
saying that.
that's I honestly 100% expected them to do it anyway because they're doing the variants later this like in August or September.
It's I would really like to hear from them. Are they going to rework the Freelancer? Because it looks to me like the Cutlass Black has a lot more room in it.
Look, the Cutlass Black looks nice. It's going well, but you've got to remember one thing: the toilets are no longer next to the bed. That luxury.
It still
gone.
has toilets.
I don't know about you, but I'm
No,
not
no.
interested anymore.
It does not have toilets. The Cutlass Black does not have
No,
toilets.
the
Only
others do.
Blue,
No
only the
toilets?
red.
Yeah.
Only
They
the red.
So what are
removed
you
the
supposed to do? Go out the
toilets.
window or something?
Only
It
the
means,
red.
yeah, but I mean, we don't exactly need toilets to do anything. Does it have? I don't know.
Well,
Some
I hope
backers
you don't.
would disagree.
I
Do
hope that
still
they
have
answer
it-
that.
does it- actually, here's an interesting question: does it still have beds? Are we sure?
I'm
I
pretty
don't-
sure
that-
it has some beds.
I don't know.
Because
you just
if it
sleep
does,
in your just sleep in
if
your
it
chair.
doesn't have beds, that's actually a huge advantage for the Freelancer. Because one of the things we now know is that you cannot log out unless you have a bed.
And if you log out without a bed,
So-
then you're kind of stuck there.
You well, you just get chucked, you
Flint
just get
Dragon
chucked
though.
back to.
Flint Dragon though
Your
is saying that the Cutlass has 4 beds.
Okay.
And if it has 4 beds, why? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder why I would go with the Freelancer over the Cutlass. Is all.
David, how many times in this freaking show have we said, "Do not judge it before it's final"?
Many times. I just
Wait, isn't that the
Hey,
entirety
guess what,
of
David?
the
Do not
project
judge
then?
it before it's final.
I just want confirmation that the Freelancer isn't final. Because when they finished its rework, they were like, "Yeah, this is final now." Because it was the first one that got its rework
Did
done.
they say that? Did they go and say
Nothing
we're
is
never going to
final.
touch the Freelancer again?
No, just
I don't think
nothing's
it needs-
final until release.
It just needs a rework.
and even then,
It's tinier than the Cutlass now, Anyway,
all they need to do is go times 1.5 to its size.
yes.
What they're doing with the freelancer is it's actually bigger on the inside than the outside.
It's a
So they did
be
also
right back.
show off some NPC movement and costumes, and they look pretty good, nice and detailed. I like that.
Also, those NPCs look amazing.
Yeah.
Those are the or what was the Lebs? What are those people again?
I don't
I know
remember.
what they are. Hang on. I gotta have this.
You
I gotta
do it.
have this.
You do it while you find that. They also showed
People's
off
Alliance
some
of Levski.
Okay, People's Alliance of Levski. They also showed off tattoos, which is good. Looks like there's a lot of different options in there. Like there's a lot going on in those tattoos on that guy, which is cool. I want to get through a few more of these and then hit question time because there are a lot of questions.
Cool.
They also showed off this, which is, I don't know what has been wrecked here, but the fire and smoke effects are lovely.
Can I just go back? I love the surprise edition of tattoos right away. I think that's really cool.
Yep.
They look really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever this thing is that just got absolute. Oh, you know what that might be? That might be a Starfarer full of fuel.
That'd be cool.
Oh.
You can, I think you can see like a cockpit or something off to the right there for a second, but I can't tell.
Because
In
that's
the back,
a lot of fire.
in the back, it looks. It might be more than one ship too.
Yeah, it could be.
They also showed off more of the star map, which again looks.
It looks
so
better every
damn
time we
good.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will, give a nod to Papa Dolvac though. The stuff on the arm is still hard to see. I hope that they can figure out the contrast issues because.
Well, I'm not sure. It's really hard to tell from I need to see it at a full screen on my monitor,
Yeah, same.
like in the game.
I also
Could
want
be a problem, yeah.
I want to take just a few seconds to talk about
Whoa.
the shipjacker.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
What?
thank God it's not just me.
What?
David, you just went down to 1 frame per second there for a while, including audio.
Really?
Yeah.
That's messed up. Cause
You're back now, though.
Okay.
You're good.
Hi. Sorry about that. Weird. The shipjacker. This guy looks interesting because it looks like he's got a cyborg arm. It looks like lots of biotics in his head. Like,
Yep. That whole right side of his body looks like it was mostly replaced by cybernetic stuff.
that's something we haven't seen or heard of in a while. How the cybernetics replacements are going to work, and seeing this concept art tells me that they're at least still thinking about it, which I like.
He looks like someone that I would be absolutely terrified to find jumping into my ship.
It looks yeah. Then there's the rings down to the surface, because
Oh man,
it's not
love
very
this
smooth
one.
because they're doing it in the map editor, but like, it's beautiful.
Yep.
It's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was one thing too. I've seen some people complain about LODs. The thing is that when they're zooming in and zooming out as fast as they are, guys, like the ships don't go that fast. They're not gonna like the LODs are really not gonna be that big of an issue because they're going like where you're just like.
Disco was talking about that in Happy Hour. He was like, I was flying over this planet and it felt like I was flying so slow. Like I was barely even moving and nothing was happening. And then he's like, I looked down and then an outpost just went
Yeah.
right by me.
Keep
I
in
was
mind,
like, oh, I really am going very fast.
keep in mind, it is a planet. Like if you're in an
moon.
airplane, and you're up, 400,000 kilometers above Earth or whatever.
400,000.
Whatever distance,
40,000
whatever
feet.
distance
Boy.
that airplanes
It
travel
feels like
at.
400,000
feel like high,
kilometers.
in fairness.
400,000 kilometers is the distance of the Earth to the moon.
That was the joke.
I think they
good.
did that for fuel savings cost.
Yeah.
I think they really needed to save fuel, so they went that high.
Yeah.
Okay.
But whatever, like, it doesn't look like they're traveling that fast when you're in them, right?
Yep.
But if you were doing the same speed up there, like right beside the ground, you go fast. So I'm not worried about the LODs, and even those LODs that we are seeing. Okay, so there's an LOD every once in a while. what game doesn't have that now?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Almost every game has pop-in.
honestly, what game does not have pop-in? You know what popped in a lot? I was playing Uncharted 4, which is quite frankly one of the better looking games out there, especially considering it's on a PS4. But every time you had a cutscene, after the cutscene, you'd hit the ground first, and then you could actually watch all of the other NPCs pop into existence after the cutscene. Like, it was terrible.
Yeah,
An LOD
pop-in
once.
is the
Yeah.
way things go.
Anyway, Nakara, you have 3 minutes to talk about SpaceX.
Okay. Well, one launch we didn't cover at all yet is the Intelsat 35E launch. This was a couple weeks ago now. In fact, it was just a little under 2 weeks ago. This launch had three. I think it was the third attempt where they were able to get the launch off. Yes, it was. The first two, very frustratingly, the first two attempts to launch this rocket had holds or aborts at 9 seconds until launch. Both of them were initiated by the rocket itself. They did a full checkout of the rocket, and then they tried a third time, and they were able to launch it no problem. The most important part of this launch was... yeah, poor Shiver. The most important part of this launch was that their minimum required orbit... the minimum required apogee for the first orbit that Falcon 9 was supposed to place the satellite into was 28,000 kilometers. In this case, the higher the orbit, the better, because it means that the satellite needs less of its own fuel to get itself into the proper orbit, which is actually 36,000 kilometers circle. Falcon 9 was basically pushed to its absolute limit, and it was able to deliver the satellite into a 43,000 kilometer orbit, apogee orbit, I mean. And this essentially meant that Intelsat 35E will be able to be in service for 2 years longer, simply because it was delivered into a better orbit by Falcon 9. Because they had used every bit of performance they possibly could for that rocket, it was not landed. The first stage wasn't landed because it needed all of the power that the rocket had just to get the satellite where it was going. The other thing I wanted to mention, there are no SpaceX launches now until August 10th, which is going to be the CRS-12 mission. The Kennedy Space Center and Cape Canaveral Air Force Base range is down for a month, basically, for maintenance, so they can't do any launches. They'll be back with that NASA launch on August 10th, and yeah, that's
We'll
when
try and
we'll
cover
resume.
that. Yep.
In the meantime, they're doing upgrades to the pad, basically.
Yeah.
They're just going to do construction work.
And in the meantime, if anyone's interested in us doing like a SpaceX special type thing, let us know, because we could do something like that. Okay, we're going to go back to live. Hey, everyone. You're seeing us big for the second time on this show. Welcome. Hi. And we're going to get into questions.
Wait.
Okay, CS, go.
We missed two things.
What?
One,
Uh-oh.
the Anvil Hurricane
Yes.
is in white box.
Yep.
Yay! Two, they're working on liquid simulations,
Yes.
which is important for couple reasons. A, they're making it so the liquid behaves depending on the environment. So that's
Which
cool.
is really cool. Yeah, no, the
And-
gravity's going to be taken into account. I think that's awesome.
And two, obviously having oceans.
Yes. Oh, tides. Good point.
Yes. Yep.
Perfecte.
And 3, the Tumblr cyclone?
Tumbril?
The Tumbril cyclone is coming next Friday. So
That's what we think. We think it's the Tumbril cyclone.
yeah.
That's what we're
I
going
have
with.
decided it's the Tumbril cyclone. It is a reversible tank Do you remember back in like the 90s there were those RC cars that would
They were
flip
awesome.
and they could go on either side? That is what I've decided it is. It is a tank that can flip over and on one side you've got like a turret with a gun, and then you're like, no, and the front wheels stop and the momentum carries the back wheels over, and on the back underside now there's a flamethrower. Boom. Tumbril Cyclone.
I think you'll find it's actually what Bertman uses as a vehicle. The Tumblr by Bertman.
Ghost, was it called the Ricochet? I think it was. Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Okay, so questions. I want to quickly go through a number from last week. So Shiver Mind Probe asked, what is Shiver thinking about when the others are talking and talking and talking and he just sits there? Harold Zagnut asks, what kind of King on flag is behind Nakara?
What
Kapla.
kind of Klingon flag? I don't know what that means. It's a Klingon flag. But yeah.
Zoldus asks, Shiver, you cheeky monkey, will the Swedes see you in Frankfurt in October?
Not this October, no. No.
Basically,
Sadly.
what's happening is Relay is skipping CitizenCon this year because it's late and really hard to get to. Some of us will be...
I didn't want to go on my own.
Yeah.
We will be covering VerseCon because Jake will be there.
Jake will be at VerseCon, and we will see if we can get anyone to do some, impressions from the show floor, and we will cover it live as we always do. We'll have pre and post podcasts. We'll have live, not transcripts, but live summaries brought to you courtesy of Canadian Syrup and the transcription team. But my goal is next year for us to have a large presence at CitizenCon.
I agree.
Well-
Hopefully it's back in North America.
Yeah.
I think that's their plan, is to go back and forth.
Yeah. Let's go to...
And then the game will be out, right? Right?
Yes.
Squadron 42 might.
Fire Emblem asked, what is the Tumblr? We just did that. Needs to know in Seattle, if the Cyclone, Tumbril, whatever, is a ground vehicle, buggy or technical, do you think it'll fit in the back of a Cutlass? As we have now seen, the Cutlass's behind is enormous. So yes.
It's got an enormous arse.
That booty.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the Rovers can fit in the back of there now. It looks like they can.
They might, which, again, they can't fit in a Freelancer. So Project Sinus asks, can the Cyclone be a new starter ship? No, because it's not a ship. It is probably a vehicle. At least we've seen wheels on a
Question, why does it have such a large range in price? That's what I'm kind of curious about. It's listed as between $45 and $70 US.
One's white, one's black.
Wow.
Now,
Two-thirds?
That's a
Alright.
Nox
Two-thirds?
reference.
you know, I could take that a step
Three-fifths.
further, but you know what? I'm just going to leave it because you all know what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to
Yeah.
say it.
Also, Fastcard's not here, so we're not allowed.
Oh.
No, wasn't it approved, though? It was sanctioned or approved by him.
True. So Project Sinus also asks, it looks like there's a sale every month. Is it too many concept sales now?
No.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
No.
Really?
Yep.
You think so?
I honestly think that they've gotten to the point where they've been so long without a meaningful and deep upgrade to the game. They're showing us a lot, and I love it. But, I mean, I will say the concepts that they've shown us, the Nox, that's likely to be in 3.0. The Tumbril will likely be in... Like, it looks like they're doing smaller concepts that are getting out the door faster so that we can use them faster, which I appreciate for 3.0. But I hope that they don't do any really large, like, $500-$600, $300 to $500 concepts while we still haven't gotten 3.0.
See, that's why I disagreed with you right away, because what they're doing is not that. What they're doing is, here's another vehicle that will be really helpful in the game. We're going to sell it really quick, and then we're going to put it in the game like 2 weeks later. Here you go. that's basically what they've been doing recently. Even with the Eclipse, I think they're already doing some work on it. And the Hurricane's already on the way. I mean, it's coming along. Oh, something very notable. Production schedule this week. They added 4 things to 3.0. The Aurora rework is now going to be in 3.0.
Aurora?
And 3 of the weapons that they reworked have now been put into 3.0 as well.
The other thing I'd like to say, though, is that they said their goal was to have concept sales every 6 weeks.
Yep.
So it's kind of like if you really want to use the whole, Star Citizen is working on multiple things, or the CIG is working on multiple things at the same time. It's not, we're working only on 3.0. They're also having concept. Because here's the thing: if the concept guys aren't doing anything, what happens?
Oh.
Well, not killed, but they get
honestly, and this is something. If you watched the podcast several weeks ago when Nakaro was here, and I was with a bunch of my other IRL friends, and we had a big powwow. I was talking to one of them, Azizian or Matt, and we were going back and forth about. I think it was him. So anyway, might not have been him. I can't actually remember who I was talking to. Anyway, I was talking to someone. Might have been Vince. No, I think it was Vince. Anyway, God, I'm so incredibly tired. Can I go to sleep after this?
Yes.
Sweet. We're talking about how the quality of ATVs has significantly increased recently, and part of me wonders if that might be because lots of the people that were working on Squadron cinematic assets have now completed their tasks and are being retasked over to things like ATV and making it look good while they're waiting for new actual tasks. Because CIG have always said that they don't want to get rid of anyone when they finish various projects. Like when Squadron 42 is finished, they don't want to fire any of those people. They want to keep them on to work on Squadron 42 Episode 2, etc. So... And that's that is what they're doing with the concept ships, right? It's let's keep those concept artists gainfully employed, because if they've got nothing to do, we have to get rid of them. So let's keep them, keep making concepts, and it's good. At the same time, I just want 3.0.
I would like to point out in 2017 there's been 5 concept sales, including the Cyclone, which is coming up. And it'll be almost at the end of what? Oh, he's counting on his fingers. Yes. And it will be almost at the end of July. I actually looked at it. It is basically almost exactly one every 6 weeks. So they're basically just. I mean, there's been a couple recently, but they also had near the beginning of the year they didn't have any concepts for months. So I mean. I don't think there's too many. That's just my opinion.
I just worry that people will stop spending on the concepts without something.
I worried
to
about
show
that
for it.
4 years ago.
I know. I still worry about it. It doesn't happen, but I still worry. Okay, so Haramis asks, can we all go on a shopping trip together with Stormy?
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
Oh
yeah.
boy, what do you have to say there, Shiv? It looks like you.
Shiv doesn't want to come shopping with us. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I want to sit in a booth and play PlayStation games like a decent Chinese person would.
So I have no idea what this question means, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Mr. Annoyed asks, do people in Britain not know the difference between a premium payment and a deductible?
Is that generally directed at me?
I have no idea.
No, that was about happy hour when they talked about they were referring to what we consider to be deductibles, and they called them premiums. And
is Will Maiden British?
Yes, I think so.
Is his middle name Iron?
They were both from the UK studio, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Shiver. I'm sorry that no one else laughed at that.
No, I know. Enough of laughing at Shiver. Shouldn't be.
Illuminati asks, supposed secret feature of 3.0. Could it be salvage, clues, reclaimer, derelict ships, etc.? P.S. What is Tumbril?
Where did they say that there was going to be a secret feature in 3.0? Because I didn't see that
No,
part.
he's speculating that there's a
Oh.
secret feature. That's why his
Oh.
name is Illuminati. Do it again.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I can't brain today. Okay.
Honestly, they said that
We
there
already know
are 3 rooms.
Salvage already is in 3.0, just not as a ship basis. We're gonna have a hand tool, no?
Yeah.
They're only 3 rooms away from the reclaimer being done, though.
This is true, but I still think
Reclaimer is not going to be in 3.0. It's
I don't
not
know if
happening.
they're. I don't
It's
think
not.
they're
No,
flying
it's no.
I don't think it's flying yet. So,
No.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
break
almost
your heart.
done. But
I'm gonna break your heart right now and just
the
say
thing
no.
is, though, I think it will be in 3.1.
Yeah,
It's
like, that's
hang on.
definitely.
Isn't he a sign for an Illuminati, some sort of like weird triangle thing
Yes,
like that?
it is.
Which is also the sign they used in the Outland Mustang
Consolidated out.
Yes,
advert,
it
right?
is.
So maybe that means that 3.0 is just going to be all Outland ships. Everything. Outland have bought everything. They are the Illuminati.
Oh, I thought for a
Question.
second you were going to say the only ships in 3.0 would be the Mustang.
Question: Do you find it?
That's it. Just Mustangs.
Do you find it interesting that they're adding another manufacturer, even though it's not a ship manufacturer, when they do have Consolidated Outland that still only has 1 ship, and that they have promised for a long time that it would get additional ships because the Mustang is so popular?
Well, they also said that they wouldn't add any ships to Consolidated Outland until after the game launches. Because they wanted it to grow along with what they wanted to have happen is if they actually sold ships, then they would do well as a company and then they would make more ships. But I don't know if that's still a plan.
Curatus asks a good question. They said that for 3.0, they're hoping to have between 7 and 14 missions.
Yeah.
Do you
For Miles Eckhart. Specifically.
It's 7 to 14 Miles Eckhart missions. It's probably still going to include most of the missions that are in 2.0 already. Like there will be more than just the Miles Eckhart one. I believe they did say that there are 2 mission givers for it as well. Right?
They want to get the second one in. They are only promising Miles Eckhart being in there. There's another one though. I can't remember what's her name.
Hang on. Tilu just subscribed. Tilu, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tilu. You're awesome.
Guys,
We should do
Guys,
something when
makes
someone
some
subscribes.
amazing
We need to have,
desktop
we're
backgrounds,
getting
by the way.
subscribers. This is strange.
we need to have like a thing.
Yeah.
That we do.
Actually, yeah. You know what, Tilu, you're here.
I think you should bring back the arm wave.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes.
Okay, fine. That's been 2 subscriptions this show.
Beautiful. There you go, David Armwave.
Masterpiece.
God, how can a man look like Ganesh?
I don't know. What? It's like I'm watching the ocean.
Love it. So, question.
Yeah.
And thank you, David.
Oh, where
And
am
thank
I?
you, and thank you, Shedenturg.
Shattenturg. What?
That was your first.
Shettenturg. So next question.
You heard it, tuned into ship.
Project Sinus asks, what will happen when a reclaimer salvages a derelict site that was also a mission location? Will the mission be lost?
No, they actually talked about that this week. All of the missions are dynamic now, so they can actually be assigned to any location. So even if you do the same mission, it might have 700 different locations.
Which means not every single person is going to be sent to the single starfarer, the single derelict starfarer, because that would suck. Because then you just end up with a WoW problem of 90 people are trying to kill a furry rabbit to grab their pelt and bring it back, because that is what MMOs are. Oh, let's sit here and click on the rabbit and kill it and take its fur and take it back and then hand it in and get a slightly better weapon, and then go out and kill a gray rabbit, because it's not a white rabbit, it's a gray rabbit. We need gray rabbit pelts now. And then after that, oh, now we need furry badger pelts. And then after that, oh, now we need deer pelts. And you're just clicking and
I
clicking
want badger
and die.
pelts.
And by the way, guys, if any of you were wondering whether we were going to get an Eris rant this week, apparently that was it right there. Just so you're aware.
Eric, Eris. Okay, funnily enough, with Eris's hype about 3.0, return Eris's rants.
Yes, apparently.
CS, are you disappointed in me? You look very disappointed in me.
He's
I'm not
thinking, why did I
disappointed.
fucking get out of bed for this?
I'm not disappointed. I'm just there's not much you can really do when you rant. You just have to sit there and take it. It's an abusive relationship that you can't get out of.
Oh,
So Ashley asks, how do you think the Mustang will land on an uneven surface?
poorly.
Like this. Done.
By the way, we actually we almost completely skipped over the bit with the landing gear. Can we put that back up again?
Oh yeah, they actually work.
I actually
please do
showed
that.
this. I showed this for a while you were away, Nakara. But
Oh, okay.
give me
Sorry.
a second. I'm gonna put it up anyway because I like you and you're a good person.
Thank you.
I just need to find. There it is. In the list of 500 gifts that you sent. By the way, I'd like to say thank you to everyone else here because Canadian Syrup does basically all of the transcripts, along with Desmarius, Stormy Winters. I actually helped
Sunjammer.
this week. Sunjammer.
Sunjammer.
Yeah, you don't.
No, I'm not forgetting Sunjammer, but I actually helped this week. It was really nice to be able to transcribe again. Shiver pulls all of the news together into one convenient document for me so that we can record replay and then do this, and Nakara goes through all of the videos and painstakingly provides me with all of these gifs and images, and basically I have a bunch of minions and I do jack shit.
That's about right.
So
So okay, I gotta.
so
we gotta
thank
talk
you
about this.
all of you.
You
So
just
this
blew,
is
you see, you just
something-
blew your hand now. See, everyone. knows
Eris
you
is a
do shit.
legion of people.
So
But anyways, yes.
this feature right here was I'm so excited about this because this was one of those moments where I was at CIG in October watching them do this.
Yeah.
For the Constellation, actually, I was watching a developer make the bouncy
The
landing gear.
constellation bounce. Make it bounce.
What was this?
And I gotta say, like, this is not easy to do. Like the soft body physics, basically, and where you could just bounce this instead of just crashing. But it's huge to make it landing actually work properly in the game because as it is, even if you're landing really slowly, it still feels like a horrible landing because you know if you're going any speed at all when you hit the ground, you're like, oh, that was rough.
And let's be honest here. When talking about the Mustang, it's another one of those ships that was concepted and designed and built before they ever knew that there would be landing on procedural planets. So it might have to change.
And I mean, the Mustang is scheduled for complete rework. I think it's either later this year or early next year.
I wouldn't be
so-
surprised if you see its like little wing things actually turn into more typical landing gear and they will brace it. But
Yeah,
like
So
Bounce. Woo.
I saw someone come up with an interesting idea, and that was they basically had like almost like shock absorbers on those little tips, and so it actually would compress. Like,
Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
so you don't
to
have to
get
change
a
much.
nice noise with it. You want that ship to feel really heavy, and
Mhm.
you want to feel like, oh shit, did I nearly break it?
Well, and I'm kind of hoping they do the opposite, where now we're gonna have landing where it feels like you're landing a big ship. I want to feel like I'm taking off in a big ship, not.
yeah, I want taking off in a Starfarer to take time and to feel hefty.
I also really want to feel the gravity difference.
Yeah.
Like if I'm taking off in a Starfarer from a moon, I'm cool with it going, zhunk. But if I'm taking off from like a planet that's twice the size of Earth and the gravity's super crazy, it should be like, and you're like 40 minutes later, you're like, okay, come on. But the thing that really makes a big difference here is that with the basically adding suspension to the ships, is that you can land on uneven ground. Because before it would have been super awkward because your landing gear is totally static, so you'd have like 2 feet on the ground and 2 not, and yeah, just a total mess.
It's part of the solution of was it Gamescom when they had issues with the freelancer ramp trying to get back into it. It's part of the solution of that. It's much easier to fiddle with the ships than it is to fiddle with an entire planet to make a ship more compatible for landing and reloading than to rework your entire planet and make a small section that's suitable for a freelancer to land. So it's part of that.
I'm just waiting for the montages of people who land on planets and then their ship goes like this.
Oh yeah.
Or rolls over.
Okay, so reportee. I'm sorry.
Repertoire?
No,
Reporte.
Repoirte. Reporte.
Report, right?
I'm sorry. I apologize profusely.
Reportier.
Reportier. I don't know. Will they
Don't
ever
make it French.
I'll make you French. Schwer batterie. Will they ever make the ships buyable or rentable with UEC to be used in the persistent universe?
Will they ever? Of course.
Of course. You're gonna use Alpha UEC first, though.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I guess this is I shouldn't laugh so much, but this is obviously somebody who hasn't been around the community for as long as we have. Real money purchases for ships will not last beyond beta. Beyond that, you'll have to buy your ships with UEC.
Well, I would say it's fair speculation to say that if you aren't, when you buy Star Citizen after release, you could buy the standard price for a game and get in a roll with it, or you could, just like we do with the starter ships now, you might be able to spend a bit more money and start with a Hornet, something like that. I can see at launch.
They might open it up a tiny bit more, like you can get your Freelancer, your Hornet, or your Connie at launch, kind of the 3 collector's editions that they have, and also basically the 3 main ships that were launched at the Kickstarter. You can have one of these, take your pick, but anything else, anything more specialized, that you have to get in-game, you have to earn it. And I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with them offering the Aurora, the Freelancer, the Hornet, or the Connie as the base ships. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, there shouldn't be anything beyond the game packages. If you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, that just happened.
Yes, I agree, and I'll start you off with the next question before I disappear for a second.
Okay.
Project Sinus asks, 3.0 start in. When do you guys think that 3.0 is actually going to start?
Well, it depends what you mean by start.
Well,
No, go ahead, CS. I talked too much.
let's
Go
start with
Evocati, then go release.
Yeah, let's do Evocati. I think Evocati is going to be... I'm thinking it's going to be the 27th, around there. I think it's going to be at the end of the month. Yeah, this month. Evocati will start this month. Because the render to texture is not crucial to actually play the game. It's crucial for mobiGlass and some other UI elements.
Well, and it's in. It's just...
Yeah, it's
broken.
in, but yeah, it's broken. So, no, I think, yeah, the Evocati will be this month. PTU will be right around Gamescom, and release will be after Gamescom.
Yeah, I think so. I definitely do not think they're releasing at Gamescom, which is what the current schedule says, because that would be a bad idea.
Unless the PTU went really smooth, maybe, but I hope they don't go, let's release it for Gamescom, even though it's really not meant to be released yet. It's a big,
Please don't do that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they'll, if it's ready to go, if it's ready to go for Gamescom, I think what they'll say is at Gamescom they'll go, okay, the build's looking good. We're gonna release it in a week, when all of our developers are back at work and ready to go again.
Yes. Not be like, it's going live today.
No, I don't
No.
think they'll do it. I
Just-
really don't.
The
Plus,
screams
I mean,
of hundreds of developers
all
across
the-
the studios.
All the poor people who paid to go to Gamescom are all of a sudden like, but I should be at home. Just like everyone stampedes for the door, and they're just gone. No, not
Yeah.
funny. Okay, fine.
Okay,
Fine.
so
Fine.
perfect timing. Ashley asks, shipjackers versus reavers, who would you win? I'm not gonna lie, I definitely got a little bit of the feeling of reavers from the shipjacker image. Like,
A little bit.
I like the reavers.
Do we have anyone on Evocati? I think we have one, right?
No, none of us are Evocati.
Zero. Okay.
Zero. We have 0 Evocati. We do have one person who helps organize the Evocati, but he himself is
Well,
not.
person is a strong word.
Yeah, true. We have one
Monkey.
mammalian creature.
Mammalian.
We have one mammalian creature who helps organize the Evocati, but he himself is not part of the Evocati. One of the things is, I don't think any of us play the game enough. We spend more of our time on news than on the game. And 2, I personally wouldn't want to be an Evocati because I don't know. I have enough trouble remembering what the hell I'm supposed to talk about every week. And if I also had to think, oh, wait, no, I can't say that because nobody else knows that. Oh, did you guys know that the miner is actually in 3. No, I can't. What can I say? Oh my God.
Evocati are effectively doing a job for free. You know, they are volunteering their time to find and track bugs properly. Not just like a council report where you go, don't load, fix it, my computer, piece of wood and a hamster in a wheel, this game's broken. Yeah, they don't do that. They will sit there with notepad upon notepad, tell you how exactly step by step they found this damn thing, and it's pain in the ass.
It's not just
thank you, Evocati.
Their builds are really broken, and people don't really understand that.
And it's not just, oh, the texture on my gun is off and it looks wrong when I put it through a wall. It's to replicate this bug, I have to be wearing this armor, carrying this gun, shooting at this ship while floating and trying to jump. And that will cause the game to crash.
Yeah. And I was able to reproduce it using these exact steps 17 times.
And I spoke with the other Evocati, and 3 others with this video card and this setup were also able to replicate this same error. It's not just
it broke.
It broke. It's not just it doesn't run. Why doesn't it run? What is breaking? Yeah, go ahead, CS.
God bless you, ice cream man. I mean Evocati.
I think it was last week. I had someone in the Reddit post kind of talking about, and I mean, people have done this before, and it's like I see their point, but like when people say we deserve to have these builds before, and like why is this selected group getting builds before us? It's like you're looking at it as if they're getting the first dibs. They're not. Like when we're talking about these builds are in rough shape. Like, there's a reason why there's an end game. They're like, well, why can't we see it? Because CIG doesn't like to release stuff that's really buggy. Because you know what?
Nice.
They've done it in the past, and what happened? Everyone freaked fuck out.
Golf swing.
And so, having a specialized group that's dedicated to testing, doing basically what QA does, and repeats the same stuff over and over again, does focus, like play tests. It's honestly, there's times when it's probably not a lot of fun, but people do it because it's necessary to make it so the actual PTU wider, like second waves, can actually use the build. So,
Bye,
and
Shiver.
ship guys again.
Bye, Shiver. Hope you come back again.
So if you're wanting to be an avocado, you honestly have to have several hours a week that you can dedicate to playtesting. Like it's not like, oh, I'm going to play for like 20 minutes. No, you're on there for several hours a week, if not day. Like it's not a fun job. It's a necessary job though.
No, that's exactly it. It basically they are QA testing the game for free. Most companies just hire a bigger QA team, but Star Citizen needs a lot of QA. So It's
Well,
actually
I'd say
it's hugely helpful that there's 1,000 people that they can use. You know, as QA
I'd
testers.
say their QA team is actually pretty big already as is, and yeah, you still can't get anywhere close to the amount of testing that Evocati provides.
And keep in
I did
mind,
want to mention
they're testing in different situations too, right? They're testing on different networks in different parts of the world on different computer setups. CIG can test on a bunch of different video cards, but they can't test on every permutation. So having more people to test more things is always good.
Oh yeah, hardware is always a big problem for games because a lot of times, like even released games will come out and they'll be like, "Oh, we had no idea that it didn't run at all on this combination of hardware."
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Shiver.
Thank you.
Maybe. Oh, there's the video.
So
Will
I wanted
dance
to mention
for internet.
I did want to mention that I think we have a really cool happy hour coming up in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from yesterday, they will be doing a happy hour with Will Maiden, I think it is again. And he will
Iron Maiden.
Yes, Iron Maiden. And he will be creating a solar system live on happy hour using Solid. Which I think will be a really cool thing to watch. So,
Okay, so this is something we were talking about beforehand. We need to get through this now, regardless of how trolly it might be. Knowledge Lambo asks, what are your thoughts on 5 to 10 systems for launch, and why doesn't it upset you that they continually only give a fraction of what was promised? Nakara, I'd like you to take this on because I'm just gonna. I'll just yell.
Well, I'm pissed off and I'm mad about it. I haven't backed this game. Fuck you for backing this game. Fuck you.
Okay. First of all, no. I made this point earlier. I think it might have been before we went live, but so 5 to 10 systems. Yeah, it's way less than 100. Also, keep in mind, when they were saying 100, it was before we had procedural planets. Many of those planets in those systems were not going to be landable at all. Originally, when this promise was made, you just have systems. They would have planets. There would be 3 or 4 small landing zones in each system. The amount of content that they will be releasing in 5 to 10 systems will be infinitely more than there was in the 100 systems from the other system, from the other way of doing things. I think people really need to understand that the reason they can only release 5 to 10 systems for launch is because the systems are much larger, more complex. All of the surfaces are landable. Way deeper game.
At least as much content in those 5 to 10 systems than we would be in 100 systems.
At least
from the original plan.
At least as much, if not much more, even. I'm sure if you did the math on the actual playable area, the playable area. So they were originally operating under the assumption that they would be using 32-bit. So the playable area would have been maybe 8 by 8 kilometers for each landing zone. If there's only 400 of them, you're looking at 3,200 square kilometers, something like that. No, more than that, but still. Let's see here. 8 times 8 times 3, 400. Say 400 landing zones. That's 25. 25,600 square kilometers. One moon they briefly mentioned 5,000 square miles in a happy hour this week on one moon. Okay. Now 5,000 square miles to square kilometers, I actually don't have that calculation handy, but it's actually probably not that far off.
1.6. 1.6.
Is it the same for square as it is for normal?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, no, it's in one moon. It's basically a fifth of that, and it doesn't take much.
Here we go.
Can I tackle the other half of this question?
In a moment.
5,000 square miles is 13,000 square kilometers. So one moon is half of the playable area that entire 100 systems would have had. Okay? So
How many moons are we
get
getting at 3.0?
three moons and a planetoid. So,
So
that
in
3.0 has more playable areas.
In
than those
3.0, we are getting, and that's just the moon. That's not counting the space around the moon. In 3.0, we're getting more space than was promised in your bloody stupid pissant 50 to 100 systems that you keep fucking bringing up, you stupid bitch.
And the reason we're not upset about it, the reason I'm not upset about it, as a fully adjusted normal human being, I paid and read for the game as, we are going to make a normal PC game for the PC. And I'm like, I want you to do that. I want you to take advantage of my hardware. I don't care how long it takes. That's what I paid for. That was what it was explained to me at point of sale. That was what I signed up for. I want a game done right. And if I have to sit here like a normal human being and be mature and wait, then I'll do that. If I don't want to do that, then I can just get a refund and I'll come back to the game and buy it then.
Or if I don't want to do that,
simple.
I can go play another game that's out in the meantime. There are lots of other good games out there. There are other
I
games.
paid full retail price for Micro Machines, whatever the fuck it was, and people are reviewing it saying the bloody mobile game's better and it's free, and I'm like, I don't want that with Star Citizen.
No.
But
How dare
I
you.
want them to
Can
make
I-
a full and complete game that they've said they will do, and I have faith that they will. If that
And
takes a bit
I,
of time,
Go ahead, Nakara.
takes a bit of time, mate.
I just did a really quick calculation and I just wanted to share this. So if there's gonna be way more than this, but if there are 400 worlds in Star Citizen when it gets to 100 systems, keep in mind in Stanton alone, I think there's like 15, somewhere in there, because between moons and planets. But anyway. Let's say there's 400 in the whole game at 100 systems. That's 5.2 million. And assuming they're all the same size as that moon, which some of them are going to be much larger, that's 5.2 million square kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay?
Weren't we saying as well, just
unreal.
before the stream started, the play area that we have now is one of, if not the largest gameplay area ever released. That's at least non-procedural in nature.
What they say the Witcher's play area fits in one crater on one of the moons.
Yeah.
On like it's.
I
The
think the
Witcher 3.
record previous was Elder Scrolls
Here's
2.
the thing. Like, quite frankly, if you backed, you backed. If you're disappointed for whatever reason, you can get a refund. If you're not disappointed, ask questions. You can have concerns. You can wonder what's going on. You can even wonder why it's taking so long, but there are answers to all of those questions. All you have to do is ask them. You can wonder why things have changed so much since the initial Kickstarter, but guess what? The initial Kickstarter, the plan was for just Squadron 42. No Star Citizen, no anything else, and the plan has changed. Now, it's
Many times.
It's kind of different here, and it's difficult because we get to watch that plan change in real time, which normally you don't get to see. But if you listen to something like Mass Effect Andromeda and the story that happened there, guess how many times the plan changed and no one knew, and look what came out of it. In this case, by following along, by looking at the plan all along, and by giving constructive feedback and saying, like the Evocati did at 2.0 or 2.6 or whatever, no, this flight model doesn't feel right, keep working on it. No, this doesn't feel right, keep working on it. We can actually impact the game to make sure that the game is better than it would have been without our input. CS.
And I was going to add to that, the important thing, if you are a current backer and you are someone who has followed and you know what, you feel like you've gotten burned out, Disco has said this before, we've all said this before, even some of us have done this before.
I've done it 3 times. I've done it 3 times. I have had 3 breaks.
I mean, heck, right after I backed the game originally, I literally went in, backed the game, read everything about it that I could find out. This is in 2012. and I didn't even look at it again until August of 2013. It was like 9 months later.
No features have been
At the end
cut.
of the day-
Features have been changed. That's it.
At the end of the day, it's your money.
Yep.
Don't let anyone
Even-
tell you how the fuck to spend your money. If you aren't happy with where your money is, for whatever reason, it does. You don't even have to have a valid reason. It's your money. Do what you want with your money. But it's like, don't go around slagging people off for the way they spend their money. I don't walk into your fucking place of work and tell you how to draw crayon drawings, do I? It's none of your business. It's your money. Do what you want. That makes you happy. You only get one chance to be happy. Do what the fuck you want.
Don't worry.
Agreed.
Be happy.
I was waiting for
But,
you to really say J.G. Wentworth commercial.
I,
My
I
money, and I want
do-
it now.
I do want to
didn't.
mention that it's funny because this all follows along in the same thing, right? Like, so we were gonna go 100 systems, very few landing zones, maybe, not many basically. And then Marco Corbetta, I believe, was the one who actually came up with the original concept for the procedural planet system. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But basically, he came up with that and showed it to them, and they're like, "Oh, we can do everything we want to do now." And the funny thing is that the number of systems will have shrunk, but the amount of gameplay will go way up. In fact, Chris Roberts actually telegraphed this quite a while ago, last year I think, when he said, "I want you to be able to play the entire game in one system. I want there to be enough gameplay that you never have to leave a star system." And we're starting to see that. Like, you look at how big Stanton is, it's going to be potentially thousands of hours of gameplay in one system.
I have to say, again, Knowledge Lambo in chat says planets are cut, cargo's singular stackable crate now, netcode, and one landing zone maybe. Planets have not been cut. Cargo is a single stackable crate now. Yeah, it's a first implementation of an alpha. What's your point?
Delay does not equal cut. They're two very different words. This is when I was saying about normal, adjusted human beings that know the differences between basic words like delayed and cut. Cut means it's never ever coming. We know it's coming. We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
actually, even that, the thing that we really loved, the day-night cycle from the freelancer from ATV this week. That you'll notice in that time lapse, it has NPCs.
Yep.
Like going in and out of the thing. That's not going to be in 3.0, but we've already seen it happening. So it's like, we've seen these features, and actually,
and keep in mind, we weren't promised any of that.
No, and Board Gamer was talking about his visit to the UK, and he said that there's a lot of work that he saw that was obviously for 3.2 and 3.3 even, that's already happening and has already been happening. So it's all coming. It's just, way slower than anyone really wants it to. That's how it works.
I have a question. Nakara, do you know how long it took them to make Breath of the Wild?
5 years, I think.
Anyway, yeah.
Do we have any more questions? Can we Miku wants us to move on, so I'm gonna.
Haramis asks, let's do the last three quickly, and then I'm gonna stop it. Haramis asks, in Happy Hour, it was mentioned by CIG that CIG is considering roundabout 4-hour break for ship insurance to return your ship. Do you think they're doing this out of confidence that less ship crashes are going to happen due to network and game issues? No, I honestly think that this is just them putting in an hour and guessing at it because they don't know what it needs to be, and they will adjust that time in the future.
Yep, and it depends on the ship too. And they're actually talking about it being really quite complex. It was an interesting conversation about how they're actually in the future, not right away, but in the future they're going to take into account how risky your play is.
Yeah.
And what you did to destroy your ship, and what your history is, where you play. Do you play in dangerous areas? Do you play in safe areas? huge number of factors into how, like, what your insurance rates are and how much, or how long, and how long you have to wait for a respawn. And basically the whole idea is they really, really, really want in the final game for you to really cherish your ship and try and like nurse it back to a starbase, like, you know, with one wing and 7 holes in the hull, and you know you're bleeding out of your left arm, and you know, like that.
Illuminati asks best predictions for Gamescom and what is Tumbril? Tumbril is a tank. Shiver.
Gamescom?
Yeah, Shiver. Gamescom. Go.
I was discussing this. I think they need to show at least 3.0 gameplay, maybe let people who are actually there play it. But I think they need to really show something that's going to knock new people coming to the project and existing backers' socks off. And yeah, that's all I can say.
I think they actually, you know, Squadron. I think something from Squadron has to be shown.
CS?
That's basically where I'm at.
We're talking about Gamescom or CitizenCon?
Gamescom.
Yeah, I would say something from Squadron 42. A trailer of some sort. Something showing Squadron 42.
Yep.
I don't really need to see more of 3.0. I've seen 3.0.
So last question for today. We are over time, so I'm just gonna start leading us off here.
Do we get paid for overtime?
No, I don't pay you a period. None of us get paid. So Ashley asks, why are you feeding the trolls? Quite frankly, because everyone's got questions, whether it's trolling or not, and we here will always try to answer any question because every question deserves to be answered. Because at the end of the day, I think if everyone gets to understand what CIG are doing, maybe they'll have the enthusiasm that we do. Maybe they won't, but I believe in the best in people because I'm Canadian.
There still are some pretty shit Canadians out there.
Though. Oh, there's some shitty Canadians.
There's still some pretty shit trolls, though, as well.
Well,
it's our average level is...
Yeah, our average level of Canadian is pretty decent. So we're pretty decent on the average level.
So I just want to make a quick comment, if that's okay.
Go ahead, Nakara.
Quick comment. The reason I said Squadron, and the reason I think they'll show something from Squadron, is that Brian Chambers has hinted at it like 78,000 times. He's like, I can't wait to show you this. I can't wait to show you this. I can't wait to show you this in a few months. I can't wait to show you these cinematics in a few months. And I'm like, so you're going to show us the cinematics, right? So I'm really, really hopeful that they have something from Squadron to show, because I think it's been too long. 18 months is too long.
So that is going to be it for us here at the station. In like 2 hours, if you're interested in more Star Citizen podcast goodness, go check out the Astro Pub with Mr. Paul Shelley. He does some phenomenal work. From us, Shiver this week over on relay.sc posted an article going over
CH
yes.
products.
CH products. It's a good read. Give it a look if you're looking for different joysticky things and HOTAS majiggers. Nakara, any progress on those funding articles?
Yeah, it's work in progress. I think I'm going to post them in pretty close proximity to each other, and then probably work on a Cyclone article as well, because I mean we have yet another concept sale, as
Excellent.
you pointed out.
Yes. And CS, what do we have to look forward? Look toward? What you doing this week?
You okay with it?
No.
You okay?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Just the standard, you know. Monday you got Citizen of the Stars. Wednesday's gonna be Lore Makers, and then Thursday ATP, and then Friday nothing. Yeah, nothing. Town Hall will probably be Not next week, but the week after. So look forward to that when that comes out. But yeah, no, just standard.
Excellent.
Can I extend a personal invitation to whatever that guy's name is? I can't be bothered. If you want to come to Dead Air and listen to Dead Air, please do.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like 40. Aren't you sure you understand what the word implication means? I know the difference between cut and delay. Oh, you don't.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's a perfect place to end the show.
There we go.
That is from me. If any of you are looking forward to more Bulkheads, episode 5 of Bulkheads is in heavy production. We're probably going to have, I think we need to have both a relay table and a beef cast coming up soon in the next few weeks. Look forward to that. Yeah, we love you all. No matter how big, how small, or how wrong. And we'll see you in the verse.
See you in the first.